Hey Aries, I'm ready to do a reading for all my fire signs today, and you come first. I'm going to just get it right into the reading, and we'll see what happens. We're going to do a five card reading. It's going to be a release, an embrace, a revisit. This is the last day of Mercury being in retrograde. And then we'll see hidden influences and the future. And I say that about Mercury because that's the point of the revisit. The idea that planet appearing to go backwards from the perspective of Earth means that there's something that we may be revisiting. You may have felt like you revisited things in all aspects of your lives as Venus, Saturn, and Aquarius were all re-encountered by Mercury. Kind of a chance to look again at something that you've decided, perhaps. So let's see. We're going to work with Tarot of the Old Path, and this card came up for you. This is your release. This is a wonderful card of wish fulfillment and healing. We will find out more upon clarifying what exactly about the star that you need to release. The star is also the card of Aquarius. We move out of Aquarius tomorrow, the sun does. So could simply be that. We will find out more. You are to embrace karma. Well, cool. That's the card of judgment, of ascension, the kind of reaping what you sowed is the feeling that I get. We'll see what that means as we proceed. Okay, we are revisiting here healing. So healing is coming up here in the star card and also in this. This is a kind of mental process of healing. It's protected by ideology, by institutions of knowledge here. In this card, you can see she is within the castle walls, and the four swords representing truth, element of air. She isolates herself with her ideas. So this may be about revisiting this kind of healing or something that you came to in some kind of process of healing. Hidden from you and what you are invited to become aware of in this reading is a page of rods. So rods or wands, that is fire, willpower. So you can see this young person is dressed all in red. Sometimes, it's just a little passionate beginning, kind of brings in hope, possibility, a hope. I see that he's holding a letter. Perhaps there's a message coming, just a little idea, a new start. Young person. So we'll find out more. And in the future, there's you, the Emperor. So this is your card, Aries. And we see you in the future looking out over your kingdom. That's a really nice way of ending this. It looks like you've been doing some healing. And there's some kind of hidden little page of rods energy coming in, and what's going to transpire at the end of this reading is we'll understand you coming into you, which is decisive, physically comfortable, powerful. There's a lot of energy going around about identity, sense of self, body. So let's clarify. Let's find out more. I'm going to use this fancy Mystic Mondays deck, although it is not Monday. It's just my new deck, so I've been using it in all my readings this week to clarify. Just kind of get used to it. It's a grown-up deck, and by that I mean it's a bit abstract. So I couldn't have used it the way I used the cards in the beginning, but it's really fun to use now that I know what I'm doing here. Always a beginner, always an apprentice, but it's kind of fun to play with this deck. See what you think. Okay, well, let's find out what you're to release. The star, this card of Aquarius. this card of healing, of wish fulfillment. What does this mean? Okay, so there's a 5 of Cups. I'll show you. Let me put these down. A Princess of Cups, or Page of Cups. Lots of emotions here. And the Lovers. Okay. Lovers can mean a relationship. Getting it here more as a choice between how you're going to approach your feelings. And we can see that the Star she's pouring water on land and she's pouring water back into the water. And this is what I'm seeing here, is that you kind of have a choice signified by the Lovers. You have the choice between 2 options and their perspectives. One is a kind of sad, bummed out, regretful, things didn't work out the way I wanted them. The other is a new, heartfelt beginning. This is youthful, childish attitude of the Princess of Cups. Now I'm going to say, like, neither of these is bad. Like, it's not an obvious choice, although the Princess of Cups sounds like an easier choice. A 5 of Cups process of healing, as a way of something that you're going to be moving on from a decision here about how you want to go about addressing some kind of loss or disappointment in your life. 5 of Cups says your choice is feel it, grieve it. Don't rush on into the next thing. Princess of Cups says, fuck it. Let's just go on to the next thing. So they're both ways of going about things. And this says to me, you've made a decision about how you're going to approach this. And so now we will embrace the karma, or the judgment, that, where that takes you next. So let's see if the cards continue to give us a sense of this choice and what it results in here. But you just need to make up your mind, okay, of how you're going to respond to this. This is your decision to heal. Aries, you're an actor. We see you in the end as yourself, so we don't have to worry about that. No, you just take action, whatever you decide. Karma, clarified by 8 of Cups. Card of I'm unfulfilled, I'm missing something. This is an emotional lack. It usually means you go on a journey to go get that 9th cup. That means wish fulfillment. We get you, the Emperor. Okay. So this is what you're embracing, yourself, your sense of who you are. You may be unfulfilled, but you have you and you know who you are. And this is probably the result of this previous phase that you're moving away from, where you decided how to handle and heal from some kind of loss. And then we have choices. 7 of Cups. Projections, choices. 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and you, the Emperor, sitting amongst all of these emotions. Got a lot of feels, Aries. So that's interesting. Yeah, so when we look at karma, this is what you're supposed to embrace. When I think of karma, as opposed to the usual term given to this card in the tarot is judgment, I think of this kind of you reap what you sow, right? Idea. I ascend to a level because I made a decision back there that has caused me to ascend in my journey. You are very powerfully in yourself here. You're being told to embrace and be grounded in yourself. But it looks like you're at a kind of crossroads here. There's lots of decisions, and there is a sense of that you're unfulfilled. You've decided how to deal with what was before, some kind of loss, I'm guessing, because of the 5 of Cups being here, a disappointment. And you've decided to work through those feelings or to just jump into the next thing. It's looking a little bit like you're then currently needing to embrace You don't really quite know what is next. Okay, so then we look at revisiting the decision you made about how to heal. That's what I think is happening right now. So what did you go with? Princess of Cups, whatever, or Five of Cups, grinding through that difficult emotion. So let's see, what are we revisiting here? The Knight of Swords. This is it's a pretty fast moving energy. He has a sword. It's truth. It's intellect. It's philosophy. And you are in a Four of Swords. This is a kind of intellectual, ideological process of healing. I think of that. The Knight of Swords can sometimes be angry. So if you're having anger, that would be a good reason to look at the decision you made back there that you moved on from. There's another four, very stable. These are good. It's good. Fours are good places to be. Four of Wands is a passionate place. It's like the celebration with your best friends, the people that you can be yourself with. The Knight of Swords is looking at the Four of Wands here. He's got his sword up. He's kind of running his finger along the blade. Sometimes this can be about making some decision about how to, let's another card here. Knight of Wands. So fire energy, another fast moving kind of energy here. It's not the Knight of Wands, it's the King of Wands. So that's, it's another fire sign. King of Wands, very alpha male, much like the Emperor. There's a lot of alpha male energy here. He is looking back. The Knight of Swords is looking forward. I still see that how we read this depends on what you decided to do back here with the star. Did you feel your feelings, or did you skip-de-doo-dah, avoid your feelings? The King of Wands, this Aries, Emperor energy, this fiery willpower, alpha male side of you. You don't have to be male, but this is your fire. Is reflecting back on that decision and then on all of the choices that you made. Whereas the Knight of Swords is testing his blade as he looks ahead at relationships, authenticity. I'm not sure yet. Let's keep looking. Okay. So the Page of Rods, the Page of Fire and Wands here is a hidden influence. A young person, a youthful energy. Trust me, we'll find our way through this, but I'm not sure yet what's happening. So we have the Devil, hidden energy. This is something that maybe is haunting you, some kind of addiction, codependence, lack of self-worth. But let's see. The Devil's not always those things. This has to do with learning a new skill, being a master craftsperson, an artist of your trade, determined, hardworking energy. The Devil is looking at your work, and you are working on the Devil here. And then there's a Four of Cups, another four. You're in the fours, Aries. The Four of Cups is, yes, this person is quite grounded. She is reflecting on these empty cups. She is manifesting a new beginning, that Ace of Cups coming in. She's focused on the losses right now. This takes you back to these Five of Cups here. This is the next card in the tarot. So the process of working through what didn't work out in the past. I'm having a new idea here. Yeah, this seems really clear to me. Like the Page of Rods, like you're doing something new. It's in your passion, but you're working through some self-doubt as you manifest and envision this new beginning. And this is operating underneath the surface. But it's really clear now that you're in a state of confusion. You're not sure what to make of what happened. You're not sure how to go forward. There's tons of projection, dissatisfaction, disappointment, and you're really wanting to take charge of this. You're in the Emperor, you're in the King of Wands. It's this alpha male energy, like, I want to act. And you're not ready to act because as much as you want to act, you're confused. You look like you're gonna know what the hell in the future, but at the moment you're stuck in a kind of, you're going around and around about what to do. And it looks to me like the reason you're going around and around is you haven't dealt with the past. You haven't healed that. And you made a decision that we were going to walk away from the release. You made a decision, and it looks to me like you might want to rethink that decision. That's why you come back to the Four of Swords. It's almost like a synonym for the star. It points to an idea that you came to in your mind. You may have rushed your grieving process, and it left you confused. And I think it left you confused about who you are and your worth, even though you want to project this alpha male. You're being haunted here, and you need to work on whatever is haunting you, whatever that idea is about yourself, that you're not a totally amazing badass, Aries. And until you come to terms with this false idea that you arrived at, that you couldn't feel this loss, because there's tons of feelings. You had to maybe rush forward here, like the Knight of Swords, to create this next utopia, right? So the Four of Wands is really an ideal community structure. It's stability. Everything is out in the open. Before you can make that, you need to relook at something back there, right? Because and until you address that correctly, you're in Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups. You're sitting here in all of these feelings, all of these projections, and really a sense of discontent. And I'm getting the feeling that you think this is what you have reaped this because you sowed it. So I think you need to get out of self-blame, out of the devil, self-doubt. That's there. Look at that. This Eight of Pentacles, she is working on the work of art that is herself, that is her sense of identity, and she is looking right in the face of that devil on the table here. Here, I'll show you. It looks like that. She's like, I'm not afraid of the devil. You know, and this is another way of looking. Meditating, getting grounded. Until you do this, that Ace of Cups is going to elude you. It's going to be, right? So here's what you're embracing. I don't know, I'm discontent. What's missing? Here you are, manifesting what's missing. The Ninth Cup. I think that makes sense. Let's go ahead and look at your future here. The Emperor. You being you, my friend. You being you, the Emperor. What does this look like? Okay, there's change in the future. It's kind of divine timing. It's really not in your power, this change. You're a powerful Emperor, but you really only have power over human structures. And when the Wheel of Fortune comes up, there's powerlessness ahead. And that's okay. It's lucky. It's divine. It's meant to be. But that's in the future. And it may involve waiting. What else do we see? More change, the Tower. Yeah, this is a lot of divine energy coming in the future. Okay. 10 of Cups. This is a complete emotional fulfillment. is going to be brought by these changes in the future. Wow. Okay. You, my Alpha Aries friend. I actually see you needing the universe to help you out here, because you're pretty discombobulated here. And it will. Wheel of Fortune, the Tower. The Tower happens when something that you need to do hasn't happened. It'll happen for you, whatever that is. Because this does look really confusing. I mean, I'm a water sign, so I'm like, feel your feelings. It's okay to be in your feelings for a while. Tomorrow, the sun moves into Pisces. We're going to, all this airy energies, all this intellectual brain racing, insomnia, we're going to get a break. We're going to be in water tomorrow. Maybe this is just simply about a transition from the swords of the air Aquarius into the water of Pisces. That's how change is coming in, the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune in the future. We definitely see confirmation that this is a change into water. It's almost as if you might feel more comfortable in your emotions in the future, because here you are looking quite comfortable with this change ahead. So if astrology is not your thing, although you came here because you're an Aries, you might, I know for me, I've always identified as a Scorpio, and then my curiosity increased, but it's very new for me to understand what the theories are about how the planets are affecting us and their relationships to one another and to the Earth and to the various astrological signs. That's all new, and I'm simply looking at it as a way of, am I feeling what they're saying I'm feeling? And I am, so I'm finding it quite compelling. So if you're not of that ilk, what we can simply say here, the message for you, Aries, is you need to feel whatever happened, and you need to be embracing that until you feel all of these feels. They look like big feels, and you're capable, you're emotionally mature, you're this emperor here with all of these emotions. You're the King of Wands, healing, your alpha energy, your fire, your determination, your ability to be disciplined and work through it, and be heroic in doing that, right? Very heroic energy. You can handle these feelings, and I think you need permission to do it, and the cards are giving you permission to that. There's a lot of feminine energy here that's suggesting that, I read this as a choice, that this is kind of like the trite decision, but look at how she's holding that precious cup, her heart, here under the moon, which is very much about the unknown and all these projections that we see coming up here. What do I do? I'm just stuck in all these feelings. I think of her just sitting at the edge of the pool with her feet in the water. I don't know why it's not focusing. And you're being told to embrace that. This is what you need courage to embrace. Get grounded, meditate, whatever you need to face this false idea that you're not good enough. To face this addiction, if that's what you're dealing with, to face feeling of codependence. There's definitely a message here, because we got the Lovers in the beginning of your release. You could definitely read this reading as healing from a romantic, something that happened in your love life with a really important person, your heart person. this Princess of Cups, maybe. There could be a story of that. It ends with a happy ending with you and your kingdom with the Ten of Cups. That's family, love, emotional fulfillment. So it may be that you need to work something out with your partner here. Something happened in your partnership that needed to be healed, and you were holding on to self-pity or something like that for some reason. Your insecurity is coming up here. And there's also, we can also read this on a grand political scale. All right. We're walking out of this head trip that was Aquarius, a time of Aquarius. I mean, all of the conflict that we've been feeling, certainly in the U.S., this tension between two sides, this tension here between the choices. And now that we walk away from that, we're like, what's it going to be? What's the world going to be like? And Emperor is a card of Aries, but it's also the card of structures of society. We see them in the future. We see change. We see a tower. And I think we're moving from a kind of hot, violent conflict, the warriors, the alpha males butting heads, right? So here we have this, we're revisiting these two warriors. It looks like entering battle right on the place, the scene of our community, and that this has not been healed properly. And so something's going to happen in the future, a tower that will lead us to return to the heart, to the cups, to the emotional commitment to heal this. And in order to do that, we have to work through this energy, this darkness, this room in our minds, this secret, this regret, this history, right? And this is a staircase that goes downward. You're being asked to embrace an upward ascension here, right? The cycle of life, change. So that's the big global reading that we could bring to this. But there's dramatic change. There's tons of confusion at whatever level you're having. And you're not going to be able to skip dealing with your feelings. And but you're clearly here. You're represented. Your fire, your power, your passion are here. I just feel like this page of rods, I'm looking here, I'm like, this is right. It's like an inner child, youthful place that you need to look. Something happened that you need to work through that's causing this devil. So on the global scale, this means look at history. Come to terms with history of white supremacy, history of colonialism. In your individual story, it means look to your past. Something that happened that you can work on somehow. I don't know if you get support, counselor, conversation. This looks like an individual, really determined process. And I just think of Aries as go-getters, people that can do the work once they know to do it. So there's a possible message here that you need to look backward. Here's the King of Wands. He's definitely looking in the past here. When I put it on the screen, it looks forward, but it's a mirror image. So on my table, he's looking backwards. So just had like this message here in the end that the past Something needs to get healed from the past to move out of this conflict. It could be an inner conflict or an external one. It could be with your partner, it could be inside of you, it could be larger, global. All right. I hope this helps. I think it's a clear message. And however you take it, I hope it helps you. Have a beautiful day, Aries.